So here's a major problem with AI coding agents today. You tell it to build something, it will write the code and it'll work. But when you look closer, it probably has hard coded your database password right into the source file, or probably the API key itself. It may have ignored your design system completely. And it may have not even planned what it was going to do. It might have just started writing. Now, if you're working on a side project, maybe that's fine. But if you are working in a team in an enterprise setting, that is a big problem. And that is exactly what I want to talk to you about today. Now, if you haven't used Gemini CLI before, it's Google's AI coding agent that runs right in your terminal. And you don't have to be a developer to use it. It takes plain English, same Gemini model, just in the command line. Gemini CLI has three features that most people haven't touched yet that fixes these issues exactly. Number one is hooks, which is the latest addition. These are scripts that fire automatically at very specific moments in the agent's workflows. Before it writes a file, a hook can actually scan it for secrets and block the write. Before a session starts, a hook can load your project context automatically. Your rules every time, no exceptions. Number two is skills. A skill is a file you drop into project that teaches the agent how to do something specific, like how to build a 3D web experience or how to follow your brand's design system. Instead of explaining it every time you chat, you install the skill once and the agent just knows. Number three is the plan mode. This forces the agent to write a plan before it writes any code. It reads your files, thinks through the approach, drafts a plan, and waits for your approval. No more, just let me just start coding and see what happens. It will actually work with you as a true collaborator. Three features: rules, knowledge, and planning. And today I'm going to show you all of these working together in one project. Now, before we get into it, a quick disclaimer: all opinions are my own and do not belong to my employer. Let's get into it. All right, so I have my project configured with three hooks and two skills already. And now I am entering into Gemini CLI. And as soon as Gemini CLI comes in, you will see that it already knows the name of my project. It is already telling me upfront whether the dev server is running or not running. And you also see two skills active here. And it is also sharing that the brand guidelines, which is why the skill, which is enforced already. So let me first show you what these hooks are, right? So to get to the hooks, you have to just type this particular command. And here you are able to see that I've got three different hooks. Two hooks start as soon as the session starts, which is what you exactly saw, right? So it is giving us the project welcome, which is here. And the second one is telling whether our dev server is running or not. So those are the two hooks. And the third hook, which is the secret scanner, this is a specific hook that runs when the agent has a write file command. Basically, I'm trying to scan if someone is writing any secret key or anything of that sort, or the agent is writing any secret key. So those are the three hooks that I have. As I'd mentioned before, so hooks are commands that will run or get executed in your system. And you can actually really take advantage of this to make your system much more deterministic. So that is the hooks piece that I wanted to show, which I have configured over here. Next, if I move to skills here, so these are the skills that I have available. So in this case, I have created my own brand guideline. In this case, I wanted to have a more professional enterprise identity. I typically like dark theme, which you might have seen in my thumbnails. So that is exactly the theme I've also given to whatever app I've built with it. And then I also wanted it to create a 3D web experience. So this is where I've used Spline, which is an interesting 3D component website. You are able to use the community ones in order to get some of the things over here. So those are the two skills that I've uploaded. So now I'm going to put Gemini CLI to work and I'm going to save this, which is start the dev server with npm start in the AI with Surya folder. So once I get this command, now it is going to go ahead and run the local server for me, which is where my website is hosted. So there you go. So this is a simple website that I created using Gemini CLI. And you can see that it has a little bit of subtle animation. The intention is to not to wow you with the beautiful website and stuff like that. The intention is to explain you how you can really make your agent much more deterministic using these three components. All right, so now that you have seen that this website is running, what I want to show you is the secret scanner piece, right? So let's say that I'm writing something like this where I'm saying create a file called testconfig.js with this constant API key is equal to something like this, right? Where I'm just giving a fake API key. And this is where the hook should immediately act. And you can see already here, right? I cannot create a file with a hard-coded API key. as it violates the security best practices. This is exactly where the agent actually tried to write the file and the hook scanned the content and found there is an API key pattern and went ahead and denied the write, right? So I didn't have to review it. I didn't have to catch it in a code review. The hook caught it automatically, and that's what deterministic really mean, right? So it doesn't really care about the context. It follows the rule every single time. All right. So now let me show you the plan mode here. If you see here, you can actually go ahead and press shift and tab together, and you will see that now I am actually in plan mode, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask it to use my 3D web experience skill and enrich the landing page with 3D elements. So you will now see this in action where instead of the agent immediately trying to write something, it will give us a detailed plan. And then based on our discussion with it, we are going to approve it. Okay, so it is not able to save the plan file, but it did present the plan over here, which is what I was expecting. The colors is equal to this, scene is equal to this, and layout is equal to like add a spline demo. So I'm just going to say yes, and I'm going to let it kind of create it. We will see what we are able to do. Now, again, we are currently in the plan mode. So what we will need to do is we will need to shift and move to the auto accept or like manual one, because plan mode doesn't really allow the agent to actually go ahead and run it, right? So now I'm going to say continue and should be able to do the job, right? So that's where you just saw the plan mode in action, where it will not execute without your consent. And then once you're okay, then you can go ahead and make the changes over here. So that's the third mode that I wanted to show. So it's continue to build and update the landing page. So we will come back and look at it in a few minutes once it has done the job. All right, looks like it has completed the job. And if I go back here and I just refresh it. So if I scroll down here so far, so this is the interactive experience that it has added, right? So this is the 3D experience that it has tried to add, which is very interesting. Now, what you can actually do here is this is the Spline community web page, and you can see all these beautiful components that are available. So that is something which you are able to actually like directly go here. So for example, if I click on this, you will have an opportunity to use this. So for example, there is usually a remix button. So for example, this one. So you can actually select this specific Spline component and then go to Gemini CLI and ask it to really have this particular component as part of the landing page. So that is a whole another level of video where we can discuss how to really use Spline or 3D components to build. We can also use anti-gravity to do that. But today's video was more about learning about hooks, skills, and plan mode, which really provides Gemini CLI another level of superpower. So that was something I really wanted to share with you guys. 3 features: hooks, which is your rules enforced every time; skills, which is specialized knowledge installed once; and then the plan mode, think first and code second. And honestly, this is what makes Gemini CLI feel like a real enterprise tool and not just a chatbot in a terminal. I hope you found this valuable. Please definitely let me know in the comment section if you guys have any questions. And of course, if you're new here, please do hit that subscribe button if you're interested in getting similar video tutorials in the future. And if you've liked the video, please hit that like button as well. Thank you once again for your time. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.